With the rising home prices, the decreasing in inventory, and the interest rates hovering around 7 and 8% right now, how in the world are you supposed to invest in real estate, let alone find a deal that makes sense? Luckily, there is a strategy that is by far the easiest way to invest in real estate. And you can use this strategy to invest in properties that are currently sitting on the market, even considering the economic factors that I just mentioned. But the best part is that this strategy requires no experience and little to no money. So many successful investors that you see today actually got their start by using this strategy, including myself, in which that propelled them further to build their successful real estate portfolios. And the strategy that I'm talking about is house hacking, and it will change your life. But real quick, if you find this video valuable, I would greatly appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. It would honestly help out my channel a ton. Now, this strategy can be way overcomplicated when it really doesn't need to be. Essentially, house hacking is purchasing a primary residence with the intention to generate income from it and offset your monthly living expenses, aka your mortgage. Now, I will get into all the ways that you can house hack real estate later in the video, but the intention of house hacking is to lower your most expensive monthly payment, which is your living expense, and save more. It will allow you to reap the financial benefits of home ownership, such as tax advantages, appreciation, and depreciation. And lastly, you will be getting the crash course of landlording 101 at such a lower risk. So how is this done? Let's say that you purchase a primary residence that has 3 bedrooms and your monthly mortgage or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is $2,000 per month. Let's say you move in and occupy one of the bedrooms, and that allows you to rent out the other 2, and you can rent each of the other 2 bedrooms for, let's say, $700 a month. So instead of you having to fork over $2,000 a month for your mortgage, you can rent out those 2 bedrooms. You get $1,400 in additional income for renting out each bedroom for $700 each, and you only come out of pocket now $600 a month. Don't worry, if that doesn't seem plausible because you don't want to rent out a room to a stranger, especially if you have a family, or you just don't want to, then don't worry, you can do exactly what my wife and I did. When we purchased our house hack, we were straight out of college and the whole COVID pandemic hit. So it was a very weird time for us, but it did not take long for us to understand the true benefits of house hacking. We purchased this 4-unit residential multifamily property with an FHA loan, and it only required us to put down about $25,000. The monthly mortgage was roughly about $2,500 per month, but the other 3 units were bringing in $4,400 a month. And that is while we were still occupying one of the units. Now, I don't want you to think that it's all rainbows and sunshines, because my wife and I put a lot of work, a lot of time into this property to deal with the tenants that we inherited and get them out. We had to go through multiple evictions. We had to fix up the properties ourselves to save as much money as possible. And we did have other expenses on the property, such as the water bill, the common electric, and we had to be in charge of the heat. After everything was said and done, our mortgage was paid for, and we were getting paid a couple $100s every month. This allowed us to control now what's worth a $550,000 asset while having the tenants pay down the loan. We are gaining so much education of being landlords and learning what not to do because we made a lot of mistakes, but also learning what to do and how to handle certain situations. And we receive all the benefits of home ownership. And what's so great about my wife and I's journey and our house hacking experience is that you can personally replicate this. It's a lot of sacrifice, it's a lot of hard work, it's not truly passive money, but if you are willing to get through those hurdles, then your financial situation is going to get so much better. Now, there's multiple ways that you can actually house hack a property. Let's start off with single family properties. Single families are more desirable, they're easier to purchase because there's more of them, and they're a little bit easier when you go to resell them. So if you go with this option, there's a couple ways that you can house hack. The first is rent by the room, and this is just the scenario that I was talking about early in this video, where you purchase a 3-bedroom house, you rent out 2 bedrooms, you occupy 1, and it pays down your monthly mortgage. The second way, if you want a little bit more space, is you can purchase a single family house with a finished basement, and you can make sure that there's a bedroom, you can add in a kitchenette and make sure there's a bathroom downstairs. So you basically have your own space, and it's essentially acting as if it's a duplex. That way you do not have to share any of the common spaces such as the bathrooms, living room, kitchen. Now the third option is to purchase a single family house with an attached or detached garage with living space above it. If you purchase it and it's already finished, then it's going to be a lot easier, or you can go ahead and put your own sweat, time, and money into it, and you might build some equity in the property. But either way, you will be living inside of the house and you can rent out the space above the garage. And lastly, I know this is very popular on the West Coast, but building an ADU on your property. Just make sure your zoning allows for it. It's essentially a little house in the back of your yard and you can rent that out. Now let's move on to multifamily. Now house hacking multifamily properties is very straightforward, and typically you want to aim for a 2 to 4 unit residential multifamily property because you can utilize the FHA 3.5% down primary home loan, and it only qualifies for a 2 to 4 unit multifamily property. This is exactly what my wife and I did. It allows us to put 3.5% down to purchase this property. So let's say you purchase a 3 unit, you live in one of the units and rent out the other 2. Everyone has their own space, their own bedrooms, their own bathroom, their own entrances. So it's just like you live in an apartment building that's connected to others. And if you want to go one step forward with house hacking a multifamily, let's say again that you purchase a 3 unit apartment building, you rent out the other 2 units, and you can rent out the other extra bedrooms in your unit if you want to go that much further, and you will completely be house hacking that property. But just make sure to get a home inspection and run your numbers. Make sure that you're purchasing a property that you intend to house hack that allows you to save as much money as possible and pay as little as you can towards the monthly mortgage. Let me break down the 3 reasons why you need to be house hacking and how it will financially benefit you. According to the Motley Fool, the average person's largest monthly expense in 2023 is a person's housing expense, whether that be rent or a mortgage. And believe it or not, that makes up about 29% of a person's total monthly expenses, which is almost a third. By house hacking, you are eliminating or decreasing a lot of that living expense so that you can save so much more money. Imagine what you can do with a third of your total expenses eliminated so that you can save more, invest more, and create a better future for yourself and your family. Next, it pays to be a homeowner. You receive so many tax benefits. You receive home appreciation, home depreciation you can write off on your taxes, and the tenants are essentially paying down the house for you. I mean, there's a reason why 90% of millionaires become so through real estate. And lastly, you are learning how to be a successful real estate investor whether you know it or not. And now that you purchased the property and you're renting it out and you're learning everything with that, you are receiving education that is invaluable. If this video intrigued you and you want to learn more about house hacking step by step from finding the property to analyzing it, purchasing it, and what to do afterwards, then you want to watch this video next, which is the ultimate guide to house hacking real estate for beginners. I'll see you in the next one.